What is up, guys? It is Ron here, coming at you with another YGOPro replay. This time around, I'm using the new Dark Magician support that just came out in the Dark Illusions. This is Illusion Magic, just so you know. This time around, I was against Chemical Beast, and it was kind of interesting how it turned out. He ended up quitting after a whole bunch of chain links went off. Effect Veiler being the MVP of this one. So yeah, let's get to the replay. I went first, so I just activated Dark Magic Circle and ended turn after adding Dark Magician, piling Veil on top with Sacred Sword. I only run one Sacred Sword, but you'll see that in the deck profile. He activates his field spell that he searched off of Terraforming, then he used Pot of Duality to add Trap, which... Yep. I'm figuring things out anyway. So what he did is he normal summoned Carbon Crab with Spark Field, additional normal summon, then he normal summoned it again, and he sent the Hydrant Hawk to search the Dioxin, I think that's what he searched. Let me just make sure here. Carbon Crab, Hawk. Yeah, he searched the Dioxin. And then he set the burnout and he passed turn. And it's like, okay. So I used Dark Magic Veil to summon the Dark Magician, which is going to banish his Spark Field. I figured banishing Spark Field is probably one of the best plays, because he can just normal summon Dioxin directly from his hand if he wants to. And he can get the Gemini effects automatically without, with the greatest of ease. So, so I got rid of that as soon as possible. Then going in the battle phase, I attack, he activates his burnout, I activate Max C, which was actually a really good play on my part, because the Sword of 7 Stars that I'm going to activate during my main phase 2 by banishing the Magician on field will give me Magician's Rod and Magician's Navigation. So, do that. Now I normal summon this, and I grabbed another Navigation because I knew that with this in my hand I could just get 2 Dark Magicians from my deck, and I could just summon both of them from my hand with the Magician's Navigation. So I just set the Illusion Magic, the 2 Magician's Navigation, and the Secret Village, and I passed her. So he overlays into Lancelot, and this is where Effect Veiler comes into play. Activate Illusion Magic to tribute Magician's Rod. He's forced to activate Lancelot, and then I activate Effect Veiler, negating that effect. And of course, after all this resolves, I just spam click, so that way after everything resolves, I can activate Magician's Navigation after adding the 2 Dark Magicians from my deck. So I add that, summon the Magician and Knight and Sorcerer, so I can banish his monsters from grave, and the Dark Magic Circle will banish Lancelot. Also, I get to add back Dark Magician's Rod, so I can get another search off if my next turn were to come. So I managed to come up with a piece from the deck, he banished Lancelot, and I get my Magician's Rod back, and he quits. Alright, time to get to the deck profile. Alright guys, we are at the deck profile now. I am running 3 Dark Magician, as you should. 1 Democ. I'm running Dark Renewal in this one. I figured it's better to be able to summon as much as possible, so you can get as many banishes off with Dark Magic Circle. And so yeah, I'm running Democ, so I can summon it off of Dark Renewal, or I can summon it off of Dark Magic Veil. Getting the spell back at the end phase is really nice, and because we have Effect Veiler, and a few level 7s, we can go into Omega, so even if it gets banished, when it leaves the field, we can put it back with Omega and summon it again with Dark Magic Veil. And it can kind of do a loop with Dark Magic Veil and Demok and Omega. Next, we have Magician of Black Illusion. This is a good card. Being able to summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard definitely helps out a lot, and in the event that you're kind of stuck during your opponent's turn, if you activate a Dark Renewal or even your Solemn Warning, you can summon this from your hand, and it puts a monster on the field, so that's kind of really good. So, like, if you have this in your hand, and you have Dark Magic Circle and Solemn Warning on the field, if you Solemn Warning something, and say they have a back row, you can summon the illusion, and then Dark Magic Circle triggers because this is treated as Dark Magician while it's on the field. One Kaiku for Magician's Navigation, 3 Magician's Rod for added consistency, Knight and Sorcerer, again, for Magician's Navigation. As you can see, I'm kind of helped out there. This can be replaced with a few other things, but the deck profile that I'm basing this off of, sorry, just need to get water, runs this, and I can understand why, and that's to go into Azure Eyes and Gigantic Castle, I guess. I'd probably use it as a tuner just to go into Azure Eyes so I can summon Dark Magician from my graveyard each standby. So that'd be nice. 3 Maxi, you can run it at 2, you can run it at 1, I don't really care. Effect Veiler, this helps out a lot. I was like, every time after not using it, I was like, would I replace this with something? And the answer is usually no. Not only because of the synchros, but also because it actually does a lot of work, as you saw in that last one. But yeah. 2 Allure of Darkness, you have 14 targets. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 targets. You got 12 targets, my bad. And like I said, if you have a Mega, then you can just recycle that. 1 Regeki, because you can only play run. 1 7-star sword. Sword of 7 stars. I used to be running it at 2, and then I realized it was a bad idea. So I'm essentially running 3 Allure of Darknesses. 1 Upstart, add consistency. Dark Magic Veil at 3. The deck profile that I saw, that I'm basing this off of, ran it at 2. But I figured I would want to summon as much as possible. And plus, with Demok, I definitely want to run this more. So I have it at 3. Twin Twister, obvious. Illusion Magic. They gotta fix the image. That's all I can say right now. Yeah, I run this just sort of dodge around certain effects. You can use this at any given time. It's definitely useful if you summon a Ebon Illusion Magician, while you summon it with 2 of these, because you can tribute that off and just add 2 from your graveyard, or you can tribute the 1 that's on the field and just add those, because you summon another Dark Magician off of this. 3 Dark Magic Circle, no reason why you should not play this at 3. It's too good of a card not to run at 3. Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This is a tech, I can tell from the deck profile that I based this off of. It's kind of a copy and paste, but with a few tweaks. Like, I never knew about Knight and Sorcerer until I saw the deck profile. So I just tweaked around a few things. He ran dualities, 3 dualities, and I was like, I don't like no, he ran 2 dualities. I was like, I don't like duality as a card. Plus, you really want to special summon as much as possible. So I figured I'd add in the 7-star sword and the Upstart Goblin. And I figured I still want to summon more things, so I'm just gonna get Dark Renewal. I'm just gonna explain this about Dark Renewal. The other person was playing Solemn Strike and was like, yeah, that's fine, but I personally found myself paying so many life points that it didn't matter anyway, because my opponent would just finish me off there here and there. So yeah. So going back to this, it's extremely useful. You almost never don't have a spellcaster. Yeah, double negative. You usually always have a spellcaster on the field. That's a better way of saying it. 3 Magician's Navigation, you run 3 Dark Magician, you run the Illusion Magic. There's no reason why you should be afraid of playing 3. You can play 2, but it's not... I mean, you can. It's your choice, really. Something I actually found out recently, or after a few games of playing it, was the banishing to negate the effects of a spell and trap. That blew my mind. Like, I played against a Gradle Kaiju player, and he activated the Disruption. Here, let me just search it. Activated the spell card. This one. Interrupted Kaiju's dream. Or slumber. There you go. He activated this, I solemned it, and negated the effect. And then he activated another one, and it's like, I had this in my grave. So it's like, alright. Magician's Navigation, negate. And I'm pretty sure I won that one, but, you know, it's whatever. 2 Dark Renewal, you can cut this out for whatever you want, really. I personally like it. It gets monsters off the field. And it summons your Dark Magicians, your Demok, any Dark Spellcast, any one of these that you want. Normally you're not going to summon Magician's Rod. You could summon Kaiku if you wanted. Magician of Black Illusion, I won't question it. Demok is usually your go-to for this, though. Solemn Morning, it's solemn. There's not much that needs to be explained. I'm going to start off with the right side of the extra deck here. 2 Ebon Magicians, you can run this at 1 if you want. I personally have not found something to replace it with, so I'm going to keep running it at 2. Big Eye, it's an obvious one. Gaia Dragon, you could probably cut this out too. Dragosack, never went into it. Master of Blaze, never went into it. Flare Metal, went into it once. Normally you don't want to use this with your Dark Magicians. So I recommend summoning this with Magician of Illusions, of Black Illusions. Armory Arm for Magician's Rod and Effect Veiler. Armades, this and this, or this and this. Any of the level 8 synchros are Effect Veiler and one of these 2. Azure Eyes would have to be done with Night's End and Dark Magician. Trishula, you can summon Trishula in a few different ways. Probably one of the most useful ways would probably be Effect Veiler, Magician's Rod, Night End, Sorcerer, Magician's Rod, and Kaiku. Other than that, there's not really a way to summon it. Yeah. Gigantic Castle would be these 2. Or Effect Veiler and Demok, or Effect Veiler and any of your level 8 synchros, which I don't necessarily recommend. But, yeah. As a side, these are just some things that you could run for the sake of Magician's Navigation and Dark Renewal. If there's one of these that I would recommend the most, it would be Legion. You can pause the video and read the fact if you want, but I'm running out of time. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you want more content like this. And I will see you guys later. Zoran Dozel, signing out.